I drive my car up to the lake as if there's someone to awake. I haven't been to bed for days, I live in a twilight haze. And I set my heart to the setting sun, and I hope that no one else has done it. And the drinks are never far, open up the floor. I miss you every single day. I wait until it's not your way. I hate the way I'm straying into these perfect days. I love the way your fingers
podcast. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, sweet, bro. I was just saying that I might play a song on the podcast for the first time. So your band name is Red Weekend.
Yep.
And you're competing in Dig the Gig, the final.
Yeah.
So you're representing Canterbury.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big statement. But yeah, we were super pumped to get through to the finals. Even just to get through to the semis again, because we performed last year in the competition. And we got through to the finals there, but unfortunately we got beaten by a better band at the time.
Yeah.
So,
but that kind of set the foundation and the groundwork for this year.
Yeah. So that was the first time we'd ever been to a sort of competition like that,
yeah.
And to get judged off your crowd as well, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that last year, and then we decided to come back this year again to see if we can, go one better and try and win the thing, which we did, which was really good. Just having all the fans there was really cool at the time.
Yeah, you must have learnt so much. So let's go back a bit and tell me a little bit about your background and how the band formed and all that type of thing.
Yeah, so pretty much it was all in high school for all of us, really. So we all know each other from high school.
Yeah.
So all of us were kind of in the same music class.
Yep.
So me, the guitarist and the bass player, so Caleb and Daniel, they were in my music class through year 10 all the way till year 13.
Yeah.
And Jackson I'd known from when I was a little kid. So yeah, we were both born and raised here, all of us were.
Classic.
But
awesome.
Yeah, so I'd known Jackson since I was, a little baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was funny because he came up to me one day and he was like, "I heard you're playing drums now, Cam." And I'm like, yeah, I am. And he goes, "Well, I'm looking at forming a band." And I was like, "Oh, okay." That sounds pretty good. So we got jamming with a couple other guys, but unfortunately they didn't really want to be a part of it. So from my music class at the time, I'd played with Daniel and Caleb a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, so we pulled them in, and, it was pretty good. And then we were looking for a singer because we'd kind of trial run a couple of singers, but they didn't really want to be, a sort of rock singer.
Yeah.
And it was hard to find that sort of sound we also wanted.
Yeah.
But then Sam, he was 2 years younger than us. And we met him at a youth centre when we were playing a little show there.
Yeah.
And he was in another band there, and he was like, we had told him about our singer mishaps of just trying to get one. And so he was like, "Oh, if you need a singer, just contact me, and I'm happy to do another band if you really want." So then through the lockdown period, so what's that, 2020 or 2021? One of those 2 years. So during that lockdown period, we got in contact with him, and we pulled him in, and then we had like a rough idea for a song that we had kind of already sent through, and he wrote lyrics to it in a day, and we were like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Is that right?
Yeah.
Flip.
So so that's how the band was formed, and through that we'd played. We practiced every two times every week at school, just in the little rehearsal studio we had. So and we just kept trying to get more gigs. So we kept playing at a youth centre on Main North Road at the time, and we just kept playing shows every couple of months there.
Yeah. Was that like Zebedee's or?
It was the Papanui Youth Development Trust. I think that's what's the PYDT. It's changed names now, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
So
nice acronym. Yeah. Milton loves a good acronym.
Yeah, I love a good acronym. The old PYDT.
Yeah, I think it's called Loop now, the Loop Centre.
Yeah.
But so we played a lot of shows there, which gave us groundwork to then move up to sort of playing in some bars and everything. And at the time we were still in high school, so it was a little bit harder to get in there, but some bars really wanted us.
Yes.
And so it was really good just to keep playing there, and yeah, just try and get ourselves out there a little bit.
Work it.
Yeah.
So that time, it was a little bit hectic, was it? Or but you kind of roll with the punches, and it just kind of naturally seemed to fall into place.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Well, even with recording songs and just writing songs now, and even how the competition's gone, it's just all kind of fallen into place. It feels like at time, like we put in the work, no doubt. But it's just from the way everything's happened. I think we're pretty lucky for what we've got.
Full on.
Yeah.
Practice.
That's right.
Full on. Oh, cool. And then where did the name come from? Red Weekend.
We always get asked that question,
Yeah.
and we don't really have an answer for it.
I mean, it's curious.
Yeah, so our other guitarist, Jackson, he, I don't know how he came up with it. We were kind of just like, oh, we need a band name. And he mentioned it, and we were like, okay, we'll roll with that. Yeah, there was no meaning to it. We were just, we looked at changing it in high school a little bit, but nothing really stuck. And then we kind of played a couple shows with the name, and people were like, oh, that's who you are. So it's, like, it's too hard to change now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's like naming your kids. You can never go back. I often joke with mine. I'm like, maybe we should change your name. They're never into it. They're like 7 and 9. So it's too late.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'll try playing one of these songs.
Okay.
Which one would you like to hear right now?
Until the Morning Comes is probably the best one we have recorded at the moment.
Sweet.
Basically, so.
I'll see what happens. Does it smash straight into the song, or how does it rock?
So this will start coming in, a little intro, and then it's straight into it with all the...
I might need to reconnect. I was listening to The Outlaw before, and it just started off nice and slow. It might have disconnected. I'm not too good with...
Mate, I was enjoying that.
Oh, could you hear it?
Yeah,
What?
mate.
Yeah.
Oh, you could hear it as well?
Yeah, it's coming through.
Let's just get into
Oh,
it.
sorry, I didn't even hear it, man. I wonder why I can't hear it. Huh. Right. Sweet. We'll just go back. Let's hit play. I don't hear it. I'm just going to assume that you guys are.
Yeah.
Damn. Alrighty. It's going. Are you sure it's going?
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet as. Here we are. Well, that was kind of a success, but kind of not. So it's pretty heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward rock and roll track.
Yeah.
You kind of just, I love how it starts just with a 4 count on the hi-hat, and then it's just straight, straight into the guitar riff.
Yeah.
And then it builds up again and straight into, the whole band comes right in.
Cool.
So that's probably one of the songs we do open with most of the time.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good start.
Yeah, so a lot of gigs we play, we're like, that's, we do a big intro and then you go straight into that, and you kind of get the crowd going really quickly, which we do like.
Yeah. There's an art to all of that. Like, man, it's not just simply playing an instrument, is it?
No, there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah. So, and you've put in a bit of time at the youth centre and the different bars and stuff that you have played at, just sort of developing that whole other side of it.
Yeah,
The showman kind of side of things.
Yeah, so we've always kind of been, I've always said from the beginning to the boys, just go out there and try and, bring all the stage presence, because a lot of bands, obviously younger bands, they don't, I don't feel like they quite get it just yet. You kind of need to push them into it a little bit more, because watching other bands, from what I've seen, like, little younger bands and everything, when I was playing, when I was younger as well, no one was kind of doing some big, hand waves or just trying to, put yourself out there.
Totally.
So I was always trying to push that with them, and I was like, look, just go out there, our lead guitarist, go out and, walk into the crowd, play with the crowd. I remember we played, even a school assembly.
Yeah.
We're up on the school stage, which is, quite high up.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the song, he jumps down and runs all the way down the back of the assembly and runs all the way back. So I was like, I was always trying to push that with the band, just to
and
try.
The kids love that. I remember the bands at my high school playing, and it just being, it just felt so almost rebellious, or just not a part of school. Yeah, it just felt like freedom. For that small moment.
It's always good. It's like, it's not just how you play the songs. It's not how you play the songs, but it's more how you can show as well. Just try and put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Because everyone likes, when you go watch a band, if a band's kind of just standing there playing their things, like the songs may be good, but if they're kind of walking around and looking or doing some other big things, it makes a big difference.
For sure, man. Oh, mate. So so this competition is this Friday. I got some tickets, so I'll be heading along. As will Milton, eh?
Yeah, mate, 100%.
Yeah,
we went to the Christchurch.
Well, finals.
The finals. Here we went to the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the boys are really looking forward to that. We all are, I think.
Yeah.
It's just another opportunity to play another show and just to go full out for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's 3 other bands that you're competing against: Auckland, Wellington, Dunedin.
Yep.
And those 2. So there's another band that's kind of heavy, and it's fair to say that 2 of them are slightly more kind of a little bit more surfer rock, kind of a little bit alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of good though, because even when we were doing the just the Christchurch heats, there was quite a variety of bands that play.
Totally.
So that's what I did quite enjoy about Dig the Gig, was there was a wide range of just what it wasn't just all rock bands or anything. There was a lot of indie sort of bands, alternative rock bands as well, which was quite cool. And it gets everyone involved as well, which is quite
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I guess there's trends at any given time. There's sort of tends to be trends like in electronic music or whatever, dance music. Certain cities, certain places get known for a certain scene, but it's nice to involve everyone. I kind of get that, because I think they just had singer-songwriters, like solo artists performing, which would be quite difficult, I would imagine, if you were that solo artist, but that's your thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel it's not. Yeah, it's kind of hard in the Christchurch scene. I think there's a lot of everything at the moment, and which is quite good, I'd say. But
mishmash.
Yeah, it'd been nice to see some more bands coming through, because there's not a lot. You don't have some really big names coming through yet. So
do you team up with some other bands regularly when you're playing?
Yeah, so we try and get in contact with a lot of bands, and they'll get in contact with us and say, "Oh, we're playing the show. Do you want to open for us?" Or they'll ask us, "Do you want to open for us playing this show?"
Wicked.
So that happens quite a lot. Those are more sort of original based gigs.
Yeah.
And then you've got the other side where you're playing at a bar show, so you'll play like a 3-hour set or something. So you have to throw a lot of covers in, but that's what we kind of do a lot of the time. That's how we started anyway, was playing like a 3-hour bar gig with a lot of covers, and then throwing some of our own stuff in there as well. Yeah. But
this final, is it a mixture of covers and original, or is it all original?
Yeah, so it was lucky we checked the email the other day, because we were it was 2 originals and 1 cover throughout the heats, semis and the finals, but for the national finals they're upping it to 3 originals, 1 cover, so you get to play an extra song of your own, which is quite cool.
Sweet.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Nice one.
So
what are the covers that you started off playing?
We mainly started with AC/DC, because we all loved AC/DC as a band, so like even for the heats and the semi-finals for Dig the Gig, we played AC/DC's Let There Be Rock and AC/DC's Whole Lot of Rosie as well. So they were 2 songs that we play regularly as well. Yeah. But playing those there was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we kind of, with the bar gigs, it's kind of looking at sort of covers that suit it. So we play a lot of Guns N' Roses as well. So Paradise City and Sweet Child of Mine.
Okay.
And so it's quite
favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those songs are hard not to love. Yeah,
it's always good to play some sort of songs like that as well, to get the crowd involved, because majority of the people who are at bars at the moment aren't more like the more sort of middle-aged to older sort of range, so playing songs like that is they get more involved with that. And even like when we play, because we've played at the Bog as well, and there's more of a younger crowd there, but they there's songs that they still know about, so
exactly.
they always get into it.
Yeah, true classics will never kind of die, right? They'll always be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Freaking heck.
Yeah, I saw that shot of you guys when you opened for the Feelers.
Oh, yeah.
So the photo of you guys in the Feelers.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool opportunity that we got, because we met James Reed, the singer for the Feelers, he was actually at one of our bar gigs at the Rose and Thistle. So he was there, and we were playing one day, and then we kind of introduced ourselves, and we were like, oh, you're the guy from the Feelers. Trying not to make it all awkward or everything, but yeah, so he absolutely loved how we played the songs and all that. So he was like, oh, we're going on tour. Do you want to open for us for the Christchurch show? And we were like, awesome, yeah. So we jumped on board on that, and that was a really cool night, just being able to play to a bigger crowd as well, and just to try and get ourselves out there even more, which was awesome.
Totally. Man, do you still get nerves?
I get asked that all the time as well, but I personally don't get nervous anymore, really.
I mean, the drummer gets to just smash those nerves out into the drum kit, right?
Yeah, like the first couple of shows I got quite nervous, like just the first times performing in front of others as you do, but as I've kept playing more, I've kind of just, I don't know what it is anymore. I would like to get nervous, because I did like the feeling of, having the adrenaline pumping through, but it's not really there anymore.
I've heard people say the same thing. They say, I don't want the nervousness to go. I always want it to be there.
Yeah.
Like it keeps me kind of, so I don't fall into any lazy habits and stuff like that. I want to be nervous.
Yeah.
Nervousness is a weird one. It's hard to control. I drink too much coffee. Don't ever start drinking coffee, because coffee has gives you the illusion of feeling nervous when sometimes you're just tired or whatever.
Well, it can give you anxiety. Which isn't actually real, it's just your body doing it.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to be nervous, but it depends. As soon as you get into a gig, as soon as you hit that first beat, it's like, then everything comes, like, you feel that adrenaline rush come in, for me anyway. As soon as, we play that first song, it's like, all right, now we're into it, let's go. And then, from there, it's, pretty cool.
Work it. You're actually like the third drummer we've had on the podcast.
Geez.
We've had Elliot, who's also a drum and bass DJ. He plays for Teal Sky, and and I mean Matt himself is the drummer for Con Can as well.
Yeah. I think they're opening for they opened for the finals, and then they're opening again this Friday, which will be pretty cool.
It's a cool wee band, Matt's band. It's like I mean I don't want to sound derogatory or anything, but it's freaking awesome. Like it's
yeah, mate, he's going hard on the drums.
Yeah, because it's a 4-piece, 4, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a left-handed drummer, which is pretty cool.
Is he? Right.
So he flips the kit around the other way.
Ah, I see.
Which is annoying when you're a right-handed drummer and you have to set it up afterwards, but it's pretty cool.
Because do you guys bring all of your own instruments, or you just share the drum kit and different things?
For the competition, so like for our bar gigs, I'll bring all my stuff, but for like that competition, there was a house kit that we played, but you just have to bring your snare, cymbals, and kick pedals.
Yeah.
And then for guitarists, I think it was just bring your amps and guitars.
Yeah. Because why do you have to bring those pieces? Are they sort of slightly more, the snare has a certain sound that you're...
I think it's personal preference, and that's the thing you're kind of hitting all the time, so you don't really want to break, something like that. So at least it's your own, and different drummers like different cymbals as well. So you can change it up a little bit.
Yeah. What type of cymbals do you have?
I got some Peisty 202s, 2002s.
Yeah.
And then so they're pretty good. I've just got the basics, just one crash, one ride, and one China cymbal, and then a set of hi-hat ones.
So do you go for, like, there's different cymbals produced for different styles of music? Would that be...
Yeah, there's a lot of variety when it comes to it. Like, you can choose some softer jazz ones, you can choose some really sort of snappy ones. It just depends on what your personal preference is, really, and you kind of go in and you can test a couple, and then you're like, oh, I like that or that.
Is that where you waste all your money? I mean, invest all your money?
I will say, when I was lucky enough, when I bought the drum kit, I bought it from my old drum instructor, knew someone at the university who was selling his drum kit.
Yeah.
So I bought that, and he had the cymbals with it as well, which was quite lucky to get those, because it's pretty pricey to get those sort of cymbals.
It's crazy. Why are they so expensive? Just the machining of them or something?
It must be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty lucky with getting the drum kit that I now have with through him, which was quite cool.
Wicked. So and you've got a place at home. Do you live at home with your parents, or have you got is it a soundproof place or?
It wasn't, but we're slowly making it into it. So pretty much at the moment we've got a garage that's not attached to the house, and we kind of just use it for storage. And because I kind of need, it was an idea at first because of the drum. I usually just set it up in the garage and bash away for about an hour or so to try and not annoy the neighbours. But now, since buying the new kit and I want to keep it, as good as possible and try not to let it rust when it gets cold in the winter. We've decided to, because I'm a builder as well.
Oh, okay.
So
nice one.
Yeah, builder apprentice. So yeah, but I put a wall straight down the middle of the garage, and then one side ripped out the garage door, put a sliding door in, and so far put some ply up and everything.
Yeah.
So that should be finished maybe end of this year.
Oh,
so
cool.
there's a little project at home to keep going over the weekends, which is quite cool. And then that'll hopefully help with the drum kit and keep it in a nice condition.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, out of all of the band, you've got the largest thing. I learnt drums when I was a kid, and I wish I kind of continued. And every 6 months I go on the Rock Shop website or some website and I look at the drum kits. And I'm like, damn, I would love to get one again.
Yeah, that's definitely a good, it's a good little thing to have around, just to even go out and play once in a while.
Yeah, I never had a good one. My one was cheap as. It was cheap as. And it was called a laser or something like that. A laser kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't have a great name either. But and then since then I have occasionally found myself on a drum kit and just been like, whoa, this is amazing. The feel of them is just,
There's something about hitting things with a pair of sticks is quite cool.
Yeah. And do you use wooden sticks? You're not using those plastic ones. For a while, their plastic ones came out.
Yeah, no, I've never really been a fan of the plastic ones. Just keep to just a wooden stick. I kind of wrap it now with a little bit of K-tape at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I was at a Blind Spot show that they played in the Smoke Festival early last year, and the drummer at the end, because I was right at the front, I was like, oh, could I have your sticks? So he ran up.
Did you just whisper to him?
He was kind of there, and I was like, sticks.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah. So he ran up, gave me his sticks. That was Shelton from Blind Spot, and they had K-tape wrapped around the bottom. I was like, oh, that's weird. I wonder why he's got that. And I kind of was, just had them in my hands a little bit. I was like, oh yeah. So I wrapped mine with the K-tape as well, and it feels much more grippier in the hands.
Yes.
And it looks cool as well.
Yeah. So going back to when did you start again, playing drums?
I started playing drums when I was about 13 years old, so it's about year 10 in high school.
Wow.
So, I was going to learn guitar at the time, because that was something I was interested in, but in that year you couldn't learn guitar because it was kind of being half taught to you in the music class, just a couple chords or whatever.
Yeah.
So you weren't allowed to go get a tutoring for that. So I was like, what's the next best thing? And then I decided on drums, because my dad used to play drums when he was younger as well.
Yeah.
So he was in a band back in high school as well, and they did a couple cool things and all that. So, and we had a drum kit up in the garage, in the garage ceiling and everything.
So you had already had a wee play around.
I kind of had a little play around. My dad didn't get it down as much, but it gave him a good excuse to finally get the whole thing down. And then,
brilliant.
So I used his kit for a long time.
He'll be stoked.
Yeah, it was quite a nice kit, and it was just a good, sort of. Well, it got me into it as well. So it's like, now I have a kit.
Yeah.
Just start playing.
Yeah, that's interesting about the drumsticks. I've still got a couple of sets, and the wooden ones are definitely going to move, but. Because it kind of pivots there, doesn't it? Yeah. So you kind of require a bit of movement, but having a little bit of grip slows that down, or?
Yeah, I feel like it does, and it feels a lot nicer in the hands, because even when I play, I still have to tape my fingers a little bit, especially on this part of the finger here. Right. Because I get almost like a blister or a callus that forms there.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it's a really hard, like, you know, a heavy hitting show, I'll end up actually, if I don't have any tape on it, it'll end up, you know, becoming like a huge blister. And then
that's not good.
No, and so I kind of tape my fingers there and just around the middle of my thumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with the K-tape as well, and having that tape around the fingers, you kind of get that friction, I feel, when you're playing. So it kind of...
Well, I guess it becomes more intentional maybe. Or it would certainly increase the intention behind the movements and stuff, because, you're having to...
Yeah, I'm not sure how many drummers would frown upon it, but it works for me.
Yeah. Far out. Yeah, I used to buy the magazines, the whole lot, and read up all about it. That's right. And my drum teacher was super strict.
Yeah.
Very, tops of your hands facing up. None of this. No thumbs on top.
Yeah.
Definitely to the side and stuff. And I still find myself looking, if I see a drummer, to see where their thumbs are.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I got taught as well that way. Just keep your arms like that, nice and relaxed.
Yeah.
And because I'm also left-handed, but I don't do what Matt does with his setup and flip it around to the left side. I kind of play open hand like that.
Yep.
And then switch to leading on my right hand when I'm playing on the ride cymbal. So I've been able to access sort of, you know, leading with both hands, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
And I just got, because my drum teacher, he was like, when we first started doing the lessons, he was like, "Are you left-handed?" I go, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, instead of, you know, flipping the kit over and playing like this, we'll just get you to play open hand." And
sweet.
Yeah, so it opens a lot more up for sort of different beats and everything, which is quite cool.
That's fascinating. That's quite big, because those are like real formative times. And if you start doing a habit like that, it'll become set in stone after a while. Like, it becomes that sort of second nature, sort of similar to how people ride a skateboard, right? There's so many different sort of styles where the foot goes and you know, forward or back, and how it all works. And then you see someone doing it differently and you're like, what are they doing? It's just it comes natural to them. Yeah,
it's something I've just picked up from when I was, you know, learning, and it's, you know, it's always stayed the same. I've never had to change anything.
Yeah.
But that's like any song. Like, if I was to play, like, I don't, like, if I hadn't practiced, like, our whole bar set list where we play about 20 or 30 songs, covers and some of our own stuff, I could probably, you know, not play for maybe a couple months and come back straight to it, just because it's a habit and I've played it so many times. It just becomes a habit to me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Muscle memory.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and even just, you know, your normal beats and everything. That's like when you're first learning drums. That's what my drum teacher did. Was we constantly kept doing the basics and just trying to get the beats down, and then from there it was just, you know, you can kind of just play anything, really.
Yeah. Man. Oh, I'll have to. I can see what I'm going to do tonight. Look at the drum kits again.
Yeah.
What about electric drum kits? How do you feel about them?
I've got one at home. Yeah. So we bought that during the lockdown period as well. So my family chipped in with me, and we got that over the lockdown period because I was
constantly chipped in.
Yeah. Mate, they paid for most of it.
Yeah. They want you to be a wee bit quieter.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of playing every day, and
exactly.
I
lockdown.
Yeah. So there was nothing else to do really apart from a little bit of school study that they'd send you, but that was nothing really. Yeah. And then it was just constantly, you know, oh, well, I've got a drum kit outside, so I'll go play.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to keep it to like an hour, just because I don't have a soundproofing or anything. I don't really want to annoy the neighbours too much.
Wow.
I don't think I have, which is good. But during that period, my parents were like, "Oh, you're kind of playing a little bit too much," and I was like, "Oh, I know, because that's all I can do." But we're looking to get an electric drum kit, and we found one that was really cool. So I did get one of those, and they're not a bad idea.
No.
But there's nothing beats the real thing.
That's what I've heard. That's what I hear again and again. Yeah. So, but that just requires space and stuff.
Yeah.
Who does all the lyrics?
The lyrics. So that's our singer. He comes up with. So we kind of how we write our songs is just our guitarists usually come up with sort of like, you know, a nice riff or something to come up with, and then we'll chuck bass and drums over top of that. So I'll hear the guitar riff, and then I'll throw a beat over top of it. The bass player will come in, play some cool little licks and everything. And then once that's all finally done, we get the singer in, and then he kind of writes all the lyrics.
That's why you were stoked when you found Sam. Had that song sitting there. He chopped off and
because we tried to write a little bit for that song. It was A New Beginning. That was the first song we ever wrote. So we kind of looked at trying to do a couple lyrics, but nothing really, we didn't have any ideas that would suit the song. But he came in and was just like, boom, here you go. Which was, a pretty cool thing. But, he writes all the lyrics. It was funny enough, though, the latest song we wrote, which is called Shoot to Kill, that's not out yet, but we've played it at a Dig the Gig and a couple other gigs. But there's the pre-chorus in that song that our singer couldn't come up with. So I was like, pass me your phone here. So here's all the lyrics on there, and I go... And I was like, okay. And then I started, writing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And that's the pre-chorus.
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, man.
So he's going to hate me for saying that because he's like, but it's not, it was just a couple words. I'm like, yeah, but we needed a pre-chorus to finish the song, mate. And yeah, so luckily that was finished just in time for the Dig the Gig semi-finals, which was quite cool to be able to debut that song there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, songwriting is a whole other thing.
Oh.
That's intense. It must be difficult because there's so much existing content out there and stuff, right? You don't want to fall into any
Yeah, it's like you can be writing a song like with just a guitar riff or something, and you can be like, that's from this song, or that's from that song. It's like, so you got to be. Yeah, it's quite hard to not try and copy something nowadays, but yeah. Because there's only so many notes out there, really, that you can kind of play.
Right? That's right. That's the line of a Beastie Boy lyrics. There's only so many notes a man can play. Yeah. So, it's true. Yeah, man. Wicked. Well, all the best for the competition. Far out. I'm looking forward to it. Do you know which one, who are you like first, second?
We haven't set the timetable yet.
Is it all? I'm
guessing we'll get an email in the next couple of days about who's playing where, or it might just be you show up on the night and, this is where you're playing. But we're hoping we like playing towards the end a little bit because we played at the end for the semis and the finals. We played last, actually. We played last at the finals, which was quite cool because everyone's kind of... Playing first at a sort of gig or competition is quite hard because, the crowd's just got in there and they're kind of, doing their own thing. But towards the end, everyone's kind of into it. So we were quite lucky to be able to play last, and pretty much everyone's already up by the stage. And
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do the winners, are they off to Whiskey A Go-Go?
Yeah, so whoever wins the national final gets a chance to go to LA, which would be pretty cool. So we're definitely trying to aim for that. But even just where we've got at the moment and all the cool little prizes that Matt set up is absolutely amazing. Like, we've got another opportunity to record a song. I think there's a music video involved as well.
Brilliant.
And then there's just a couple cool little vouchers for like the Rock Shop or Platypus shoes as well. So honestly, what Matt's done has been pretty cool. Yeah.
It really is, yeah. And it sounded like it was kind of sorely needed for the that whole community.
Because Matt just wanted to drag people out and get them doing stuff in public, pull them out of the garages and all that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's worked.
Well, especially like after high school, because you got RockFest, and then after high school there's not really a sort of university competition or anything like that. So for Matt to set something up for, those sort of university bands is, quite cool to just get a whole new generation almost into playing shows and trying to get them exposed.
Totally. And it also drags out people like myself who would never normally go out to like gigs, like just but because it's a competition, there's kind of something slightly more attractive about it, seeing a whole bunch of bands. There's something on the line. It's competition's good. It's kind of like sport or something.
It's definitely helped us. The competition's definitely helped us with just trying to, even just writing new songs for the competition. So, every time I've played the competition, we've tried to make more. That gives us, another reason to write a new song or just to try to get something new out there, which has been quite cool.
So, how would you, like recording the song, how did you do that previously? Did you just do that at home?
So the first
Or-
EP and the first single we released, we did that through. So when we were back in high school, me and a couple of the other guys in the band, we did audio engineering. So that was like a little, school thing you did through the music class and everything. And the sound engineer there, his name was Steve. He runs Cannon Hill Studios. So we were like, I kind of spoke to him about, we're wanting to record this and to try and do something. And he was like, I can, give you a hand with that. So he has a cool little studio up there that we went in. He does a lot of recordings for other artists as well. So we got up there, we recorded that, and then that was the EP. And then for the Until the Morning Comes, that was through Dig the Gig that they supplied. They were like, you have a day to write, to play the song, record the song, and then,
Yeah.
So
and you do what I've seen on the movies. You play the song and then you stop and you go, let's do this bit again.
Yeah, so how we kind of did the last EP and Until the Morning Comes was we tried to play it together, but we were kind of a little bit all over the show. I think we needed to probably practice a little bit more to try, in that sort of setting. So I pretty much, we get the guitar to play like a rough demo.
Yeah.
And then I'll come in and play, and then I'll actually record the drum beat. And then
so you'll just listen to it and play along.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll do that, and then after that would get the bass on, and then the guitars, and then finally put the vocals over top.
Yeah, yeah.
But to do all that in a day for Until the Morning Comes was was kind of stressful, but we did end up getting it pretty easily, which is quite cool.
That's freaking cool.
It helped that the guitarist did the first solo in that song. He did that in one take. It was awesome.
Oh, freaking awesome.
We have a video of it. He was just. We don't know what planet he was on during that time, because he has never been able to do a one take solo like that in recording. But it's always, he did it, and we were like, "Whoa,
Man,
awesome!"
must have just stepped up to the pressure.
Yeah,
cool. So, so you'll have another one of those.
yeah. So I'm not sure when that will be. That might be early next year, because it was early. We recorded that one early this year as well.
And music videos, that's sort of a similar kind of process, or do you all kind of chip in creatively?
Yeah, so we're still yet to do a music video. We're trying, but how we kind of want to go about it, or how I would like to go about it, is just to chuck us all in a room with and just play. Because a lot of you watch a lot of bands online, and you kind of want to know what they look like.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, it's nice just seeing a band play, and that's what the majority of music videos are. And then you've also got the story type of music videos that tell a story. But I think it would be good to be able to just do like a music video of just us playing, and then work our way into more later on.
Yeah, for sure, totally. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. Just pop up a camera and start streaming. Who knows?
Yeah,
people will watch stuff, man. All of the shit that's out there on TikTok and stuff. Being able to watch a band practice and stuff would be freaking cool.
Yeah, we try and put a lot of footage from shows up. Yeah, like we record. We get like my mum in the crowd. we have a little camcorder, and she kind of stands and records a couple of the things. So we upload that to our Instagram and Facebook and everything. But to try to get more out there, for people to actually see who we are and how we play the song.
Yeah, it's real good seeing things real and natural. Like if I'm watching a surfing video or something, I hate it when they put too much music on. I just want to hear the natural sounds. Keeping it real. Yeah, I like that anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing you can beat about just listening or just watching even just a band play their songs. Like a lot of the 80s bands, they were just, it was just a recording of them playing on like a big stage. And that was,
exactly
what they used to do.
Totally. What was I going to say? I think I've forgotten. Damn it.
You can do it, mate. What was it?
I think it was it's just on the edge of my brain this time of the morning. can't quite pull it back. Oh, wicked. So how's the building apprenticeship going?
Good. So I'm in my nice
change of tack.
Nice safe. So I'm in my third year. I jumped straight out of high school. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I was like, I'll give this a go. And see, I'm in my third year now, which is pretty cool.
Wicked. I thought about doing that as well.
Yeah. It's quite nice just being able to sort of, do things with your hands most of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, damn, I really can't remember what I was going to ask. It was something about, the band thing, like you're on Spotify. I've heard this thing that like bands there's not as many bands, there's more solo artists.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot I've heard that as well. There's a lot of sort of solo artists are more like, bigger nowadays instead of, there's less bands in like the top 100 or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. They were kind of saying it was like the death of bands and stuff.
Yeah. So
what's your take on that?
It sucks. You can't beat a band, really. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good solo artists out there, but nothing beats, a couple guys, with instruments playing, in a bigger setting. And
it must just be a trend. Surely that can't kind of continue or be sustainable because, the sound that a band produces.
And nowadays it's still sort of, artificial that they put through, like, as like someone can sit with a drum pad and just throw, like, a quick beat down or anything. Nothing about the real thing.
Yeah, I found that really interesting. I sort of, there's something kind of sad about it, but I just don't believe it will last.
I don't think it will. I think everything comes, I think it'll come a full circle again. Way. And there might be, like at the moment, I don't know what's popular, like pop music or whatever, sort of popular. And then who knows, maybe in like 10, 20 years' time, rock, there might be a new wave of rock bands that come back around. Yeah. And then, all the band stuff's back in and, that's, that'll all be in the top 100.
That's right, yeah. I wonder where we're at. I was thinking, I was listening to your music last night when I was tidying up the cafe, and it reminded me of a lot of the bands that I used to listen to, and I still listen to them. I mean, I'll never give them up. Yeah.
as that whole thing though, like Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, like all of their music is, still relevant to these days. Everyone still listens to it.
Do you like merchandise and stuff? You've got a sweatshirt on.
So we've got... It was good, actually. My mum as well.
Yeah. Have you got a website?
No, we don't. So that's something we're actually looking at setting up as a website because it's a good way of just promoting music and merch. But we started with T-shirts and all that. So just the same sort of style with the logo on the front and the name on the back. Yeah. And then we started with that. Then we had released the EP, so we got a couple of T-shirts of that. And then we finally did some hoodies. We've got caps as well, bucket hats, just with the name on it.
Wicked.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way of just promoting your music and everything.
And just having a little stream of income.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing as well to play at shows and there's people in the crowd that have your merch on. Yeah, man. Because also, for the people that don't know us, could look in the crowd and be like, oh, this many people's got, this T-shirts on, this is what the band is. Yeah. So, what's after this competition? Oh, I guess it's hard to, like, say if the competition didn't exist, what would you be? What are the plans for the band? Like, just keep going, laying down music. Yeah. Have you got any? Do you sort of write goals or? We don't really set goals, but I'd say that at the moment, in the next year or less, maybe in less like the 6 months, we're trying to do an album. Yeah. So we've got 5 songs for that at the moment. We're trying to aim for about 9 or 10. Yeah. And then, so that's the big goal that I think we're all trying to push at the moment. So we're kind of just writing songs, most practices instead of, practicing covers or whatever. Yeah, it's just more just doing original songs.
That's cool. More creative.
Yeah. And I feel playing, your own stuff way more exciting than playing, some of the other stuff. But, so that's the main thing at the moment for the band is just trying to write a couple more songs and then get into the studio and just smash out a recording to release our first album, which would be pretty cool.
A whole heap of them, because, man, recording a whole album would be a mission. But the other thing is that everyone just releases singles, right? And albums have just kind of gone by the wayside.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. We did discuss that as well about should we just, release a ton of singles and then, release 5 singles and then just put the album out there just as that? Yeah. Or do you keep it to the standard of, like what most bands do is just release, bands back in the day just did 1 or 2 singles and then release the whole album? Yeah, yeah. So there is that idea that we did kind of throw around, but I think we like to keep it, quite, old school, I guess you could say, and just try and do a couple singles and just then put out the album to try.
Well, once again, you're kind of telling a story, and it's not just one song's great, but I mean, when you've got a whole kind of constellation of them. Yeah,
it was like when we released Until the Morning. It was like when we released Until the Morning Comes. It was like it would have been nice if we had more music to follow that up.
Right.
Just because at the time, just to release a single, it's one of those things you can only listen to a song a certain amount of times. Well, you could listen to it, for multiple days on end, but you're eventually going to be like, oh, I want to listen to something else. Yeah. So by having the album, you kind of can listen to 10 songs and you can kind of keep repeating that because
that's right. It takes you on a journey. Yeah. Way more so.
Yeah.
Than just one single.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. That's cool. So, and like the band works as a whole pretty well, and like you're all being creative together. That must be a lot of fun.
It's just trying to throw all of us in the room at the same time because we all have full-time jobs, and then apart from Jackson, who's studying at the moment, so he's our little get into the dig the gigs. You need one member to be a part of the university.
Oh, true.
So he's our little
How long has he been studying for?
He's been studying for the last 2 years. So he's doing that, but we all work full time. So trying to put us all in the same room at the same time is quite difficult sometimes. Yeah. So, but when we do get in the room, it's just we'll sit there, and usually our guitarist Caleb, he has a lot of time, but he has a lot of riffs and ideas, and that comes to him. He's great with a lot of stuff. And then sometimes it'll be our singer who comes up with, because he also plays guitar as well, so he has some ideas that he can come in. Then other guitarists can have some ideas. We kind of just build on that, really. Yeah. I often wonder how it's done. I often kind of, especially some of those massive anthems and classic songs, like how it was all pulled together. Because the other thing that's happening is that, I mean, it's always happened, but, other people are writing songs. Yeah. Flo, what were some of those songs that we found out about that were covers? I can't remember now, but
like, what do you mean?
We went through a little phase, like about 6 months of finding out these songs.
That's right. Covers. Songs that you think,
originals.
An original from this band, and you find out, the original was from the 1930s or something.
And they've overtaken, the original. There was some old guy that just wrote heaps of songs, and a lot of them got taken up later. They got written in the 20s. Which is kind of nice to think about. Yeah,
as one of those things as well, you can't beat a cover. Even a lot of bands nowadays do chuck in, especially during a set. Like I've seen a lot of bands play just shows and they'll throw in a cover. Like we love to, if we're doing like one of our own sets, we'll throw in a cover somewhere in that set just because everyone, it kind of gets everyone involved in it. And if everyone doesn't know your own, if everyone doesn't know your own music, then you can kind of throw in a cover with it.
Yeah, I think it was Lead Belly.
It was,
Lead Belly, an American singer. He was born in 1888. He died in 1949. And Nirvana covered, was it My Girl?
Could be.
Yeah?
That's right. I think it was.
And I was just like, what?
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was that track. And then I think we found out Lead Belly wrote a whole bunch of other ones. I mean, look at him.
Yeah, mate. What a name, man.
Kurt Cobain was covering him. That's insane.
It's like Whiskey in the Jar, that Metallica cover as well, and Thin Lizzy, I think they cover that as well. But that was an old folk song, back in like the 1800s. It's interesting how those sort of songs as well end up becoming big because another band's, decided to cover it.
I stumbled across some album by Bob Dylan, which was just a recording of him on a radio station, and that was freaking cool. I don't think he played. I'm not too sure whether he played any original songs because he was like a teenager, and but man, it was just incredible to hear his voice, and it was just before he kind of really took off, I guess. Yeah. Wicked, Cam. Thanks so much for coming in. Really looking forward to Friday night. I'll get this podcast up and on YouTube, share on social media.
But if anyone listening as well, if you could go give us a vote online as well. All you have to do is go on the website and vote for your favourite band that's going to play that night. And then, that helps us a lot because it's done on votes as well. Because not all, because obviously for
you've
Auckland,
got a home team advantage.
Exactly right. So usually they did it on the decibel meter, which was just who can scream the loudest, and obviously whoever brings the most fans, pretty much. But for this, obviously, if you're in Auckland, you're not really going to have any Auckland people here. You might have a couple of fans, but nowhere near as like, you know, what we could, you know, because obviously everyone knows us and they're from here. Yeah. So it's done on voting, and then so it's done on voting that night, and I think the decibel meter is in play, I think, as well for this night. So
it can still hold a little bit of sway. So it's digthegig.nz to place a vote, and otherwise follow you on Spotify,
Instagram, Facebook, just Red Weekend Music.
Are you on those other ones like SoundCloud and things?
We're not on SoundCloud, I don't think. No. Mainly just Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube as well.
Sweet. Okay, sweet as. Good luck, Cam.
Oh, good. Thank you for having me. Cheers.